How's it going, everybody? The Seer here, and today we are discussing the absolute A-Force team, and this team is absolutely the Apex War team. Now, I know in my previous videos I said, hey, this is the best team in the game, this is the best war team in the game, this is the top war team in the game. This team by far takes the crown, and what it looks like they're doing is they're trying to refresh the war meta by inserting all of these new war teams that's come into the game. Now, as far as the teams that we had Marks for Money, where it was the kind of before the new meta stat changes. We had the Undying team. We had the Astral team, where they have awakened abilities that allow them to work in war. And now we have this team. So this is the third team in a row where it is a war team. This team is a monster on offense. They can take out so many teams, and on defense, they're even worse. So my prediction is this team's going to be on defense, and it's going to be a problem to deal with. Now, I'm going to kind of show you a few highlights. I'm not going to do the typical show like every single counter that I did previously. Those videos usually took about an hour, and I usually put timestamps in to help people out. This one here, it's not really worth doing. I'm going to show a few highlights of like big teams that they can take out in offense. Then the majority is going to be me trying to take it out on defense, just to show you this team's not a joke. Now, the interesting thing about this team is I had people asking, does the A-Force tag work with the absolute A-Force? And as you see, it does. This is kind of like how it is with the Avengers, how there's the new Avengers, the Secret Avengers, and Young Avengers. They all have an Avengers overarching tag. There's also the X-Men, how there's the Astonishing, Unlimited, the Extreme X-Men. There's so many different tags, and they just kind of have that overarching. They did that with the absolute A-Force. Now, when these characters start coming out, I would definitely recommend start slotting them in. The main reason being is not only is it the new stats on here, but the kits are ridiculous on the new characters for here. The reworks, they kind of do what they need to do. They didn't need to really hype up the kits as much. The first one that would get slotted out is going to be Ironheart. Now, the weird thing about this team is certain characters are going to say you need 3 or more absolute A-Force allies, and Kahori has in the passive you need 4 absolute A-Force allies. So they did make it to where you do get punished if you start slotting too many out, but it is definitely possible. Now we're going to start with the Medusa as far as kind of discussing what the kit brings you if you end up having the 3 absolute A-Force on here. Now, Medusa is going to be the beat stick on the team. She does have the anti-revive mechanics. For ISOs, I do recommend using her as a raider. She hits very hard, and she gets the crit along with the perma kills. It could kind of ruin the counter in itself. The 3 or more absolute A-Force is going to be in the special and the ultimate. And basically what it does is it gives extra crit damage. So she already gets the crit chance, but 3 or more or Black Bolt's going to give the 60% crit damage. That's going to be on the special and the ultimate. Now, the next one that we're going to discuss is Ms. Marvel Classic. She is what Captain America wishes he could be, which is saying a lot because he can go all day. She can go basically until time runs out. I 1000% recommend her being a healer. Now, the main reason for that's going to be something in the passive, and it's pretty ridiculous. So in war, when this character or an absolute A-Force ally drops below 40% health, you're going to clear Disrupt from that character, apply defense up, evade, 2 death proofs, and safeguard. That doesn't say the first time in battle. So what this is going to allow it to happen if you're a healer is it gives you that health bounce that the Hulk has and the Gamma team, where they keep bouncing above and below the 40%. And when they end up dropping below it, they're going to get the evades, which is going to be 2 evades. They're going to have that defense up. They're going to have 2 death proofs if you do manage to get through the evades. And there's the safeguard. By the time it goes back around, they're going to heal up a lot because of her being a healer and regeneration. You're going to drop them back down again. And it is a very nasty mechanic that basically can stop any counter. It's really ridiculous. And in war, I'm glad this isn't everywhere, because if it was everywhere, it would be terrible. The way I kind of describe it is, think about when Darkhold had Agatha drop in the Darkhold members under the health threshold. They gain stealth, they start getting the drain, bounces back up, they go back into stealth, and it really messed with everything. Also, how often she gets taunt, it's going to be very difficult to really get through her. The next character we're going to discuss is going to be Kahori. I do have her as a striker. I can see how Raider would be good. It's just her striker ability is so powerful. Raider would just be there if you need to get the vulnerables out very early. Maybe outside of war as a plug-and-play character, I would use her as a Raider just to set up a lot of vulnerables out on the field. You can also do that with skirmish just to guarantee it. I just like the Raider for the crits portion of it. Now for Kahori, it's going to be in her passive. So enemies with exposed in war, you have to have 4 more absolute A-Force allies, and it basically stops the speed mechanics. So you can't really gain turn meter outside of the natural means of it, and that could be kind of an issue. The rest of it doesn't really have anything in her kit to where it's going to stop or need the extra absolute A-Force characters. Now for her special, she does have on here a way to clear all barrier, and also on the ultimate she does do a lot of debuffs on here, fill speed bar and everything, so she gets extra turn. The special though also does give bleed, so this tells me she's going to be pretty good in Battle World as far as a null boss killer, throwing her on a certain team just so that way she gets the 2 turns, she can flip, she clears barrier on the special on a very short cooldown, and she has bleeds to where you can start extending it. So that is something I am keeping in mind. Maybe on difficulty 5, I can take out a certain character, slot her in, and kind of work that way. We'll kind of have to see how that goes. For Wasp, she has 2 abilities on here, the special and the ultimate, where you need to have 3 or more A-Force for this portion here. That's going to reduce the turn meter. And the ultimate is 3 or more absolute A-Force. This deals the extra damage. She is pretty interesting. She hits a lot of enemies, like the ultimate hits everybody. The special being able to do the reduce speed bar. This reduce on the turn, the speed bar, is going to happen on the first hit of the attack or the last bonus hit. So it's not going to be able to stack. It is going to only be 30%, but it gives 2 chances for the speed bar to be reduced. That's very important on there. I was kind of curious if they end up dodging the first hit. Is it not going to work? I did get confirmation though. This is going to be on the first or the last bonus hit. Now for Ironheart, she's going to be the first one that gets pulled off of the team. She's just way too slow. She has 116 speed on this sort of team right here. The ultimate does hit very hard. And this one here, you do have to have 3 or more absolute A-Force allies. So it's going to do attack all for 350%. If there's 3 or more absolute A-Force, it's 650% with the new stats. It hits very hard. However, she doesn't really bring much more. She does have a reduced speed bar and a ability block on the special, but I could see other ways to slot certain characters in. Now, one of the first characters that you want to slot in is going to end up being Nico. That's because on her passive, she ends up giving the speed bar to the entire team. So on war offense on spawn, apply speed up to self and all A-Force allies. That's going to be very important on certain counters that you want to use if this team is on offense. Another one that you could end up using is going to be Jessica Jones. She does have a special here where it clears all negative effects. It gives ability energy as well. And the ultimate, it's able to call in an A-Force ally. As far as the assist goes for the most damage, that could be impactful as well. So I am thinking when the characters start coming out, I can use Ironheart, I can use Wasp, I can use whoever the first character is that's coming, and then I can use Jessica Jones and Nico, and that's going to allow me to use Photon with like a Secret Defenders type of comp. I'm going to try to figure out the best way to end up doing that, but that's kind of my plan going forward. Now, the rest of the ISOs, I didn't really talk about it. Wasp and Ironheart I have as a Raider, so that gives me 3 Raiders. I have Kahori as a striker to be able to play into that, and then Ms. Marvel Classic as a healer, just to do that health bounce and keep the team going. We're going to go ahead and dive into the gameplay portion of this. And if you do like this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day. Okay, so now we are in the war portion of this. The first team I'm going to test this against is going to be the Annihilators. As far as placement goes, I like Ms. Marvel Classic on the one bookend, Kahori on the other bookend. Wasp has a pretty much 100% dodge rate at the start of the match because of the charges, so I do like putting her next to Ms. Marvel Classic. That way anything that comes in is just going to get evaded, and I don't have to worry about any extra damage that I need to take. Kahori is the other most important. That's why I like her on the other bookend, just to really protect her. The Annihilators matchup, the reason I want to show this one is because it's a new stat team, and they usually are kind of a brick house to try to get through them. This matchup is really easy. So we're going to end up using a basic into Gladiator. Now we're going to end up kind of tagging into Ultimates over here. The reason I want to go for Ultimates is because at the start of every turn, Ms. Marvel Classic gets a taunt. Even if she has it, it's going to reapply the taunt. And that just really speeds up Ultimates. So that's a good way to really try to get through Ms. Marvel Classic, is bring Ultimates. He's really going to hate Ms. Marvel Classic on here. So Kahori, we end up doing the special. That gets the trauma out there, a lot of negative effects. Medusa, we're in a special into Ultimates, and he's killed off already. Yeah. Gore, he ends up doing the ultimate. I barely took any damage. It's kind of a joke. So let's go at Gladiator and ult with Ms. Marvel Classic. This is going to do some really good damage because of the charges. It gets Safeguard on the entire team. We're going to do a special with Ironheart into Silver Surfer. That killed the Gladiator. We got an ability block on Silver Surfer. Let's go ahead and use Wasp special into Thanos Endgame. He's dead. Silver Surfer bleeds out. And now we have a very easy kill on Gore right there. So not much of an issue. For the next matchup, we're going to end up taking the Absolute A-Force into the Marks for Money team. We really don't see them on defense. They're a really good war offense team. But I just want to show you the power of what can happen when the Absolute A-Force goes into Marks for Money. So right off the bat, there's going to be the exposed due to the passive on Kahori to the Old Man Logan. He's the controller with the highest damage. Now we can put an exposed on Deadpool. We can get another exposed on Pandapool. So now when these three characters die, they're not going to come back to life. It's pretty powerful because right on here also, in war, if this character has 4 more Absolute A-Force allies, they cannot fill the speed bar. So because that exposed is on Old Man Logan, every time we hit him, he's not going to get that turn meter. So we really shut down this Marks for Money team with these 5 characters. Medusa, we did that special. We did some massive damage there into Pandapool. We're going to use Ms. Marvel Classic Ultimates. Now we have Safeguard. We have immunity on us as well. So now when the Old Man Logan does the special, we don't really have to worry about anything that's coming in at us. So there we end up killing the Pandapool. He didn't come back to life. And right there, Old Man Logan does a special. We're fully protected. We're barely taking any damage. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go all in on the Old Man Logan to get him killed off. So now it is our turn with Kahori. We're going to ult into the Old Man Logan. We're going to basic into Old Man Logan. She goes so fast. It's awesome. All right, here we're going to end up targeting Deathpool and use the ultimate. That is nice AoE hit. The Death Proofs did end up protecting them, but that's perfectly fine. Special here. All right, ultimate. This is going to take out the Old Man Logan. There goes the Deathpool. Here's an ultimate. Deadpool didn't come back either. Those exposed mechanics that Kahori puts out there, it's very deadly. So I'm just going to put this on auto, where you have to kill the Dakin twice, unless right there we got the exposed on him. He's dead. All right, for this matchup here, we have the Absolute A-Force going into the Astral team. This team is fully maxed out, where they have the Awakened abilities and everything. So this one here, as long as we get the exposed mechanics on the correct characters, that way Doctor Strange can't bring them back to life. this matchup actually really isn't terrible. And especially with us controlling who gets the exposed, it's going to make it easier. So we're going to get an exposed. That actually didn't work on Ancient One. Let's try again. So no exposed there. We did end up getting one on Shadow King luckily. So we're going to end up doing this special. We got the negative effects out there. Let's go ahead and use the special here into Ancient One. She just got one shot. That's really funny. Let's go for Doctor Strange. We're going to ult because he's going to ult turn 1. All right, let's go ahead and special into Shadow King. That's going to get the turn meter rewind. He did end up clearing that. Let's special here into Shadow King again. So right now we just have a lot of control going into this team. So Emma Frost ends up going. And now, as you see, everybody does have exposed on them because of Kahori. I believe it's the special that did that. Doctor Strange did ult, but Ancient One, she got the perma kill. So you didn't have to worry about her. Right, so let's go ahead and ult. This is going to hit a nice chunk right here. All right, we're going to basic. So that way we are now off Wongers. Let's go Moondragon and ult. She's close to death. So there we killed Emma. We killed Moondragon. Let's just go all in and hit this on auto. And there, yeah, there's the matchup. Very easy. So for this matchup here, we're going into the Alpha Flight team. Now we do need to make an adjustment when going at the Alpha Flight team because of the speed that they have. We need to get ahead of them. Otherwise, Northstar's going to ult turn 1, and the mass damage output that they have on the opening barrage is too much usually. It's basically RNG if you end up surviving it to be able to kind of punch back at them. When you slot Nico into this team, getting the speed up on them, this matchup goes so quickly. It's actually really funny. So Nico on spawn is going to give speed up to the entire team. So Kahori ends up putting the exposed right there on Northstar. We're going to basic into the Sasquatch right here. He has to go again because he keeps applying taunt to himself. So now he's under the health threshold. We're going to target Northstar in special. So that is going to hit everybody. That flips, that gets the traumas out there usually, but no traumas on this one. Now we're going to end up ulting into the Northstar. And this one here hits the primary. And yeah, so let's just go ahead and kill him. So there goes the flips that would normally come in at us. We're going to end up targeting the Gladiator. He's about to go. Let's go ahead and ult with Ms. Marvel Classic. There he goes. Let's go ahead and take out Sunfire. Wolverine ends up doing a special, but we're fully protected. And this match is over. So slotting Nico in against the Alpha Flight, you really want to make sure that plug and play is going to be available for you. All right, so we saw what this team can do against the Alpha Flight team. What we're going to end up doing next, we're going to end up using the same team comp into the Alpha Flight Odin team. So this one here, it should go pretty similar. Our character is going to go before the other team, so we don't have to worry about any assists coming in. Then from there, we can just take out this Odin. So right there, we got the exposed on the Northstar. We're in a basic 2 times into the Sasquatch. Now we can go all in on Odin. We're in a special into Odin with Kahori. And we're going to end up ulting into the Odin here. All right, so now we want to stop the assist from coming in. So this one here does a primary hit. We're just going to take out the Northstar quick. All right, now we're going to end up using the ultimate here into Guardian. And now we can go all in on the Odin. So there's a special there. And they all bled out. So very easy. All right, so this one here is a very interesting team. It's going to have 2 pieces of the Annihilators, Mephisto, Super Skrull, and Ares. We're just going to use our 5 absolute A-Force characters, no sub-ins on here. The main reason is we can get an exposed and flip right off the Gladiator. Then we can go into the Super Skrull, and we're going to be getting the exposed on Super Skrull. Now, what you saw here, Gladiator ended up trying to take all of our buffs off. However, due to the kits, he didn't get any of the defense ups on spawn. So Ares really doesn't do anything against Absolute A-Force. So there we end up doing the basic. We got the exposed on Super Scroll. He ends up doing a special into us. Let's go ahead and target the Super Scroll. I just want to try to take him out. We're going to special into him. Let's go ahead and ult with Ms. Marvel Classic into him. I'm not too worried about Mephisto in this matchup. I want to take out the high assist characters. So first I want to try to take out this Gladiator. All right, so now we have a taunt on Ares. We're going to special there. All right, we're going to special here. That's going to do a turn meter rewind. All right, so there's the ult from the Super Scroll. That's why I want to try to kill him as fast as possible. We did end up surviving that. And our Absolute A-Force, the new characters are the 5/5s. So there's a special there. So Mephisto got his ult off. We're still hanging in there. And here you're going to start seeing the power of Healer Ms. Marvel Classic. So yeah, we almost took out the Mephisto. We're going to ult here. That should kill the Mephisto. All right, so there we killed the Super Scroll. Mephisto bleeds out. We are still stuck on the taunt of Ares. So special here. And you can see our health just bounced completely back up. It's pretty amazing. Ironheart, we're going to ult here. So there goes the Gladiator. Thanos Endgame's going to ult. The evade saved us there. The counterattacks come in. We almost pushed them. All right, we're going to ult into the Ares. All right, so now we're going to take out the Thanos. We just put this on auto. So yeah. This one here, as if Super Scroll gets that ultimate, you see how devastating it is. That's why I tried to take him out as soon as possible. But yeah, the 3 new characters are 5/5. The other 2 are 7/7s. And there it is. Okay, so the offense side of testing is now done. We're going to move into the defensive side of testing. So the first thing I wanted to test out is going to be the mirror match. So shout out to Bendable Straws. He was able to put up the team with the ISOs that I recommended, just so we can kind of see how this ends up playing out. So Ms. Marvel Classic is going to be that healer. The 3 characters is going to be a raider, and Kahori is going to be that striker. We are the same power level as well, so this is going to be a flat punch across. This one here is going to be pretty interesting. There's going to be a coin toss at the start of this. So we end up putting the exposed on first. We already get the 200% turn meter. The enemy Kahori does not. That's why she's emptied already. So we are stuck on the Ms. Marvel Classic. So because Ms. Marvel Classic keeps putting the taunt on at the start of every turn, she has very high resistance with those charges as well. So we are able to get our 3 turns in. We got the vulnerables out there, not vulnerables, the traumas out there. And we are basically stuck at the mercy of this Ms. Marvel Classic. We just have to hit her until we're able to get off and move over to someone else. I do want to end up moving over to Kahori. She's going to be the next high value character that I want to try to take out. So there we are off of there. Let's go ahead and special into Medusa because this is an AoE hit. It's a turn meter rewind. So here the counterattacks are coming in at the Ironheart. All right, so now we're going to end up using Wasp Special here into the Kahori. We did some very good damage to her. We're going to ult into the Ms. Marvel Classic. The taunt got up on her because we dropped Kahori so low. All right, so there we got a flip back and a counterattack. She's out of charges. That's why we were able to do that. All right, so let's go ahead and take out this Kahori. All right, so there goes Medusa. All right, ult. All right, and yeah, there's the matchup. So there is some of that RNG at the start of it. Luckily, we got the offense side to where we were able to stop the Kahori from going and moving into taking out the enemy Kahori. Okay, so I haven't actually fully tested this one out yet, so we're going to experience this together. This is the Astral team with the reworks. So before when I tested the Astral team out, the reworks were in. I ended up killing 3 of the characters, and then I ended up timing out. It was a very long, really matchup. So I'm curious how these reworks are going to be impacting this portion. So Emma Frost being able to give the turn meter, as long as we don't get the exposed on us, that's going to be kind of an RNG factor on who gets the exposed. So Shadow King gets 1, Moondragon didn't, Ancient One didn't. All right, so we are stuck on the Ms. Marvel Classic. So let's go all in on her until the cons get off. So there's the special. So we do get 1, 2, 3. So Ancient One's the only one now that doesn't have the exposed. So Ancient One, we're going to special. That's going to get us the counters and the speed up. Very impactful. We need those. All right, so Ms. Marvel Classic goes in at the Moondragon. As long as we don't get the permit kills, so that's going to be some bad RNG. Yeah, so we're going to end up using the ultimate here from Emma Frost. So as you see, one of the weaknesses that this team has, let's go ahead. There's Safeguard out there. We're just going to special or ultimate. That's going to end up giving us a heal. But yeah, one of the weaknesses that Astral team has is there's no taunt until Wong gets out there. So Moondragon ult, we did end up taking out the Wasp. That took a little bit of time. Here's the ultimate from Shadow King. That's going to remove our negative effects. There goes Ironheart. So yeah, the 2 reworked characters already gone. All right, so let's go ahead and ult into Ms. Marvel Classic. I should have switched over to Kahori. That was a mistake on my part. We're going to special again. That's a nice AoE hit. There's the ultimate from Kahori. Almost took out our Emma Frost. There goes Wongers. Oof, we're taking a beating right here. All right, let's try to go. Nope, stuck on a taunt again, so we're going to special with Emma Frost on here. Calls the assistant. They do less damage, I believe, to each other, too. Special by Shadow King. We got some bleeds out there. She ends up clearing it. There's the taunt. Let's go ahead and ult again. That's going to give us a heal. And that's going to proc the Shadow King. All right, special into Ms. Marvel Classic. There she bounced under. She's going to get that trigger again. That heal portion of it's just way too powerful. I need to get these evades down. There she healed up again. And we have 2 minutes left to try to get this clear right now. All right, ult into Ms. Marvel Classic. All right, we're going to ult into her. Can this do the damage that we need? Nope, there's the evades, death proofs. All right, ult again from Shadow King. Yeah, once you get stuck in this Ms. Marvel Classic loop, it is not good. All right, special here. Got the striker hit. There she goes. Now we got the victory. It took us a lot, and you see the RNG that kind of had to come into it. There's a lot of luck as far as us surviving that barrage too, but we were able to get it. All right, there it is. So this was a team I was kind of testing out before to try to take this out. This does not work. The way the mechanics work with Ares and Absolute A-Force, it doesn't go well. So I'm going to go in and put this speed lower so you can really see how this mechanic works when Ares goes against the Absolute A-Force. So right here, they end up getting their charges or their buffs. Ares does the proc. Because I think it's Medusa's kit allows it to where they don't get the defense up. We took all the charges off of Ms. Marvel Classic, so then all the buffs end up coming into play. I hope I explained that correctly for you guys, but basically, this team has a hard counter against Ares, so you don't want to do that. We're going to end up using the ultimate here from Mephisto. So we got the exhaust mechanics on them, and their Medusa almost one-shots our leader. Ms. Marvel Classic goes into Ares. All right, so now it's our turn again. We're going to special into the Ms. Marvel Classic. I should have switched over. That was a misplay on my part. So yeah, now the taunt is back up. They're going hard into the Ares right there. All right, Kahori does a special, so now it's our turn. Iron Patriot going to use that special. The counterattacks are coming in. That's not good. All right, now we're going to... Oh, this is going to do a turn meter rewind. All right, we are stuck on Ms. Marvel Classic. We're doing a special that's going to call a bunch of assistant on the Ms. Marvel Classic. And she's taking that beating like a champ. All right, we're going to ult with Mephisto. She is like hanging on by a thread. Let's ult. I just wanted a high damage and to try to hit the Wasp. Wasp ends up getting killed out. Let's go for Kahori. We're going to special here. So yes, I do promise you that this never worked for me before. This is the first time this counter ever worked, so don't rely saying, hey, Cabal Mephisto Ares works against the Absolute A-Force, because this has never happened. All right, so yeah, we did get the victory on this one. A lot of RNG on not losing any of those Cabal members. Okay, so this one here, I just want to show you that Mephisto doesn't slot into just any team. This is Gamma with Mephisto. This should end up failing. We're going to keep him as a Raider. We're going to switch everybody else to a healer. That's usually how I run my Gamma squad. And Striker right here. This one we should get walked over because it's going to be the Exposed that's going to go out on the Red Hulk. So he's not going to get the turn meter, and they should just walk over us is how this should play out. All right, we're going to ult with Mephisto. Now we got the exhaust out there. We're going to special with the Red Hulk. All right, special with Mephisto into Ms. Marvel Classic. Right there, Bahori's doing the special. So now the Exposed is out. We got it on Braun. It looks like it missed everybody else. So let's go ahead and ult with the Red Hulk. Now we got the battlefield effect out there. So we got the traumas, we got the heal block, and some bleeds. All right, special with the Hulk. Let's go ahead and special with Braun. And all those buffs just came back. That's not good. All right, let's go ahead, switch to Kahori. We're going to ult with the She-Hulk. And ult with the Mephisto here. Special, that's a lot of bleeds and negative effects on Mephisto there. We did end up killing Wasp. The Ms. Marvel Classic, she bounced back. She got the taunt on her. And here Kahori is going off. There goes Braun. We killed two more. Can we pull this one out? Basic here into Ms. Marvel Classic. That's a lot of bleeds again. Striker hits. There goes She-Hulk. She bled out. There's Kahori going, and there goes Hulk. So now it's down to Red Hulk and Mephisto. And we're still stuck on the taunt right there. I know earlier the taunt was off of that brief window. There's always going to be that brief window when there's no taunt. Then you want to try to switch over to Kahori. But I did mess that portion up. Taunt is back up. So we're going to basic into Ms. Marvel Classic. Basic with Mephisto. And can we actually pull this one out? I don't think so. I think they're going to outlast us here. Let's see. We're getting lucky because Mephisto's kind of tanking some of these hits. Let's ult again. Yeah, if she would have actually been targeting Red Hulk, I think we would have lost that. We barely pulled that one out. Now, depending on ISOs, this team here, I think, is the most cost-effective team that can end up beating Absolute A-Force. I was doing a lot of testing previously. And basically, if Ms. Marvel Classic is a striker, this team works the best. As a healer, this team has failed, so I had to slot somebody else in, like Apocalypse on there. So I'm going to show you how this one plays out, and if we add Apocalypse in there. So we have the Nowhere team. We took the Star-Lord Annihilation out. We slot Odin in. Because of the Asgard, Thor's going to be getting some extra buffs. Nova, he's just a champ. We're going to special here. There, Kahori ends up doing her special. As long as he doesn't get the permakill because Death Proofs do save him, that's good. Now we can end up bringing him back. We are going to end up doing a special with Thor. All right, so he has not taken his turn or assist yet, so we're going to want a basic first. There goes Nova. That's not good. We're in a special here. And now it's basically Odin against everybody. So we got the battlefield effect out. Right here, it's basically comes down to all the counterattacks that's coming in now. We use the special, we get our buffs up, and right there we're just kind of draining them quite a bit. And the issue with the healer portion is it keeps bouncing them, like the full team back up, so they keep getting those evades, and that battlefield effect is not unavoidable. So we need to sustain the Odin out until we can end up doing the ultimate, and that usually clears the way. All right, so got a few more turns. Let's basic here. We just have to survive this. The exposed being on Odin's like the not a good thing here. We're just gonna put this on auto. Let's see if we can actually pull this one out. The good thing about having 5 members on the other side of the field is that it gives a lot more drain to that hit. And I think that ended up killing him. Nope, he's still alive. All right, so we got some more healing up. That ended up hurting pretty good. All right, so there's that. And Kahori goes. And I think that one ended up, yeah. So the healer is just too much of a sustain factor. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take out the Thor Infinity War. We're going to slot Apocalypse in here. And this actually makes it feel much better. So this does take a high investment unless you get lucky with one of the other counters that we showed. Like I said, the Cabal's never worked. The Gamma's honestly never worked either. The mirror match is a good option. So right there, Kahori ends up going at the Cosmo. He doesn't get the exposed. Unfortunately, our Odin does get the exposed. So he's not going to get that turn meter. So there we're going to end up doing Nova's special. Medusa ends up going into, so he bled out. We can actually get the Korg back if we need to. We're going to basic first. Now we can get the battlefield effect out when it goes back to him. There's the battlefield effect. And there they went at Apocalypse, unfortunately. Usually go for that Falcon Punch. We do get our battlefield effect with Nova now. So we end up ulting. And now we're back in the same cycle. However, they are a lot lower life. So now, when it gets to Odin's turn, there's a heal by Ms. Marvel Classic. Alright, let's go ahead and special. And basic here. Those evades are so annoying. Alright, so now we already got Medusa killed off before he flipped on us. And basic again. So yeah, the extra damage that Apocalypse gives us, it's very impactful, even though he didn't take a turn. Usually he does take a few turns for me. He just got hard targeted by Wasp on that one. And there's the win on that one.